Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my conversation with Yann Tanoé. My name is Willorna. I am the founder of the No Drama Lounge, a Facebook group, as well as an online blog. And I'm also a HR professional and a teacher. Got very many talents, very many hats, but one thing I'm really passionate about is mental health and well-being and positivism. So for example, the No Drama Lounge, we talk about it being a place for positive vibes only. So my dear friend Yann Tanoé, welcome Yann. Yann also has a passion for mental health and well-being, especially from sort of male point of view. So it's really good to have a male person talking about mental health issues and positive thoughts, because it's a sort of arena that men, up until recently, men did not like to talk about. So we're really happy to see that the attitudes are beginning to shift and people are now beginning to talk about mental health and the importance of, positive vibes and positive thinking in your lives. So today's conversation is around, the topic is the power of thoughts. Now, we all know about thoughts and actions and the fact that, our thoughts really influence our actions. So today we're going to explore that. Yann did a really wonderful video early on in the year about gratitude and thinking, and how, sometimes we allow negative thinking to impact on us negatively. So yeah, over to you, Yann, and welcome.
Thank you, Willorna. Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you and to also share about mental health, because it's such a massive, massive topic, but such an important topic to talk about. So thank you for having me here.
Do you want to, for people who are not familiar with you, do you want to just sort of introduce yourself, talk about what you do, your background, why you're so passionate about mental health?
Absolutely. So I'm Yann W. Tanoé. I'm an author, activist, and social entrepreneur. And I have been in this industry for around almost 10 years. I'm celebrating 10 years next year. I've written educational programs. I've been spokesperson for mental health campaigns. And, everything that I kind of do has been influenced by mental health. So I started in 2010, 2011 by writing my educational plan for children in Western Africa.
Oh, wow.
The Oyomife program, I Am Happy, which centered around increase of academic attainment and also mental wellness. And so my passion for mental health comes from personal experiences as a child, as a young man, as an adult. And so today I'm interested to talk about this topic of the power of thoughts.
Indeed,
okay?
The power.
That's right. And I did a video over the summer. I took a nice walk because I live in the Broads here in Suffolk. And, it was kind of like a nice sunny day in the summer. I just took a walk. And I just had this impression that I needed to do this video to express my views and just my sheer gratitude at being alive. And
I think so profound. That video was just the thing. I mean, we posted it on the No Drama Lounge and everyone was like, oh my God, this is so powerful. Thank you for sharing, because it was quite short, but your words were so powerful. They were so profound, about gratitude, about what, the things that we allow to go through our head. My life is shit. My life is this, this is not working. And you just nailed it. I mean, just talk to us a bit about that video and the messaging that you had in that video.
That's right. So like I was saying, it's, it was an ode to life, because I like to celebrate life with the word. And I think that day, the summer has been quite challenging for me, health-wise. I'm dealing with a lot of very major health issues at the moment. And I think I still needed the opportunity to be able to talk about positivity and talk about my life in the way that showed gratitude. Because as I've said, I believe that gratitude is a way of life. I believe that gratitude is a state of mind that we're in. And so that governs everything that happens in our lives.
Yeah.
And I've often tried to live my life in that way.
Yeah.
To be grateful for all the things that we are given, because I find opportunities in everything. And I
Yeah.
think what's important for me as an entrepreneur even is, yes, I look for opportunities. I'm open to opportunities. And so for me to look at it from the standpoint of, thinking, thought patterns, anything that happens, any thoughts that come, I take very seriously and I dissect and I try to understand.
Yeah.
And my first question is, what can I learn from this?
Yes.
Very, very powerful question, very powerful rhetoric that I think that everybody should cultivate.
Yeah,
Because
indeed. I mean, it's a real thing about gratitude. It's only recently. I mean, I think if I remember about a couple of years ago, I think it was actually it was 2017, the beginning of the year, or probably even last year. And one of my New Year's resolutions was around gratitude, acceptance, and trust. Because I realized it was just one comment that someone made, a really close friend of mine, that Willorna, you're never content. Willorna, you're always complaining about something. And I actually took that time to reflect on what she said. And it had such an effect on my life, because I realized that I've gone through my life, taking my blessings, taking things for granted. There were so many things that I had to be grateful for, but because I had my mind set on something else, maybe sometimes we have, high expectations that are probably unrealistic. So we allow that to cloud our judgment. We allow that to cloud our thinking, so we're not grateful. And one thing you also said in your video, which I found so profound, was the fact that you have to be grateful in order for you to receive any more blessings.
That's it.
That was something, seriously.
And that's something that I've lived. I've lived this. Because, I'll take this back to entrepreneurship. I'll take this back to business. The aim of being an entrepreneur and to go into business is to have an increase, to want more, to progress, to have more profit, more this, more that, and to just want the world,
Exactly.
A megalomanie, as we say in French, that actually comes with this. And when you're in that mindset, it is so easy to lose that simplicity.
Yeah.
It is so easy to lose it because you're trained to want more.
Yeah.
And at one point in my career, I had to take a step back and think, you know what, Yann? What have you achieved?
Yeah.
And I used to think and look at all the things and then go back and look and think, wow,
yeah.
for 8 years,
Exactly.
for 9 years, that's a lot, That's a lot that I need to actually sit down and enjoy. And thank, the Lord, because, I'm a Christian, so thank the Lord, thank the universe for all these blessings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Until I do, I can't get anything more.
You can't. And you know what that does? It changes your whole world. In fact, this was about 18 months ago. I mean, the message that my friend, what she said, it was so profound to me that I had to give a speech at an event, and they said, oh, we don't want to talk about anything you like. And I spoke about achievement. I spoke about the fact that sometimes we get so caught up in this word achievement that we forget about our blessing. I started then preaching. Then, obviously I do career coaching. So my mantra became, every challenge is an opportunity. Every job you have, do not take them for granted. Every single experience you have in life is a learning experience. There's something to be gained from it. So I just changed my thinking. And you know what? I got some peace. I got peace. I stopped worrying so much. I stopped being so anxious. I started seeing things differently. So really, it's about a mindset. You actually said something else in your video about how, you have your own life and it's what you make of it. So you have that decision that, yes, I'm going to live a good life. I'm going to live a positive life. Nobody else owes me anything. It's down to me. That was something you mentioned.
Absolutely. I do believe that, a lot of the time, we end up looking outside of ourselves. This is not going right. Or this person owes me this. The world owes me this because, I went through this. I went through that. So I deserve this. But at the end of the day, when, you know, when you're behind closed doors, who are you with? Yourself.
Exactly.
And so all these questions, all these fingers that are pointed that way should be pointed back here,
Yeah.
because you are the ultimate master of your own life. You're
Exactly.
you're the creator in your own life, and I sincerely believe this.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people always asking me, you know, but how are you so confident that you can do X, Y, and Z? Because I've understood very early on that whatever I wanted, I had to make happen. I
Yeah.
didn't expect or look to anybody else.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm inspired by people. There's people that have held me up throughout the years, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's me here and the man upstairs.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how I've been able to get to where I am.
Indeed, because and another thing I've learned is obviously the universe, there is a higher being. So if you are a good person, if you have positive thoughts, you're going to bring positive thoughts back to yourself. Anything you want to do in life, put it down on paper, set your goals, plan, and leave the rest and see what happens. Just try that. So that energy that you're putting on the negative thinking, how about you invest it in something positive? I mean, people used to say that to me all the time, and I never used to believe it. But honestly,
Yeah.
since I tried to change my mindset, since I tried to change my way of thinking, I mean, obviously we're human, so I
Yeah.
still have my down days. I still have days when, you know, I can't be bothered. I still have days where, yes, the negative thinking will come. There will always come. I mean, we're fighting all sorts of forces, spiritual, negative forces. So no matter how you try and be positive, I believe there's always going to be something that will try and hold you back. But it's how you react to it. How are you going to deal with it? Are you a half full or are you a half empty person?
Absolutely. There's two things there that you mentioned I'd like to comment on. The concept of turning your energy into from negative to positive, investing energy.
Yeah.
Very important thing. And I did another video on this. And I kind of took that as an experiment this year, for instance. So out of 9 years of my career, I believe that this year has been the best year.
Well
And
done.
there's one
Congratulations.
reason for that. Thank you. There's one reason for that. Because at the beginning of last year, when, you know, of the year, when I changed my companies from, you know, Sunbird Enterprises to EER, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to try and do different things that I'm not necessarily good at. And I thought, hold on, how can I be better at the things that I need to improve on that I'm not good at? And that's when the idea came to turn the narrative. So I started thinking about all the things that I say that are negative about myself. So I went back through this, okay, oh, you can't do that, or that person's better, or this is better, you're not suited to this. And I kind of held it and kind of weighed it, you know, and thought, you know, wow, that's really heavy. What if I take that weight and turn it and convert it to positive thoughts, so that the positive thoughts are that heavy? There would be such a shift. And once I did that, my mindset completely changed. So instead of having these heavy negative thoughts, I converted them to positive. So instead of saying, oh, I'm not really suited for that, well, actually, I can learn. And actually, I can. Or, oh no, somebody else is better. Yes, that person is good, but I can try and I can succeed. You know, it's about trading the narrative. It's about the inner monologue that you have, because that's the way that's what I call it.
Yes. So that inner voice that is, so what would you advise? Because some people might be watching this and they might be thinking, oh yeah, it's all right, it's easy for you to say that. You know, I struggle, I grew up in a family, or I grew up around people who were constantly putting me down. I'm working somewhere where my boss is horrible. You know, I always get negative feedback. You know, how can I put myself, you know, into a good place? How can I think positively? You know, I'm struggling to think positively. So what can we do? What can we say to people who are thinking like that? I mean, my first thing is going to be, it is a process. It does not change overnight. There is no quick fix. If you've had years of abuse, years of negativity, it takes time. I did not become like this overnight. It's taken me years to be what I am today. I've been through a lot of negative things in my life. I've been through anxiety. I've been through fear, but it has actually taken a while. It's not overnight. So, but basically you need to start. You need to start, and it will take you 3 years, it will take you 5 years, but eventually you will get there, and it's a process. Change is not a one-time thing. Change is a process. And if you need help, seek help. What I would say to people is you need to feed yourself. It's like food. You need to eat this positive thing every single day. You need to change, you know, if it's Instagram, if it's social media, or whatever's getting you down, switch off from it. Seek help.
Yeah.
There's a lot of help out there. You can get a counselor, you can get counseling, you can just feed yourself, but you need to start somewhere and just be reassured that it's not something that happens overnight.
Absolutely. And I think for me, like you said, you know, I've been through, you know, childhood abuse. I've been through a lot of different things. And a lot of people don't know these things. They look at me today, I'm this man, I'm confident.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've built myself up and I'm securing my future and things like that. And people, you know, instinctively, you know, sometimes feel negative towards that, you know. But my mindset that I have, this thought pattern that I have is one that I call the thought pattern of a survivor.
Yeah.
It is. Because if I did not have that mindset, I would not be here in any way, shape, or form. There comes a point where you have to develop, you know, your salvation, your thoughts, your thinking pattern becomes your salvation. And that's one thing that I worked on for many, many years to get to this point.
Yeah.
Because I needed to. But I also think that, you know, it's important for us to not always, because I don't always believe in just thinking, oh, positivity. I teach, I'm a teacher, and I have students. And sometimes I say to them, wow, this is amazing, you're great. And it doesn't go in because they've been conditioned differently. And so praise doesn't work. Positivity really doesn't work. So what I do is, you know, what I've come to understand is that it's okay to let people.
Oh yeah, so sometimes you do need to allow those negative things to go through. So for example, if I'm having a bad day, and I know that today is really not a good day, I'm going to let it ride because I'm thinking tomorrow is a different day. I'm going to allow myself to feel negative today. I'm going to allow myself to process whatever is going through my head.
Exactly.
Tomorrow is another day.
You need to live your emotions. I'm one of these people that will always say this. Do not suppress anything. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be jealous of somebody, be jealous, okay? If you need to be, you know, a hater, be a hater. If you need to kick the wall, kick the wall. I'm one of these believers. You cannot suppress these things. So that's why I understand that.
It's under the carpet and it comes out.
Be positive. You know, it does not work. Allow yourself to live your emotions. But what's important is when you come back to yourself, when you come back to that center, that place, ask yourself the question, how could I handle this different next time? How can I see the positivity in different things around me? You know, it's all about reflecting back, going back and reflecting upon things.
You said it.
So once you've got the negativity, that's great, but go back and reflect. How could that be better? And gradually work towards creating that positive attitude.
And also in your reflection, try and identify what made you feel like that. Was it something someone said? Was it an event? Was it a bad memory? Try and understand. You need to be self-aware. Try and understand what your triggers are. Try and understand what your poisons are. Is it something I ate? Is it something I drank? Is it someone that got on my nerves? Now, if it's somebody that's constantly getting on your nerves, learn to detox that person out of your life. So you need to identify what your triggers are before you can actually get to a place where you're self-reflecting and you're identifying what the issues are, and then you can move on.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not a psychotherapist, I'm no psychiatrist, I'm not. Exactly. I'm just a person. You know, I'm just a person that has walked that is walking that journey, and that has experienced a level of, you know, I don't like using the term success, but a certain level of equilibrium and balance when it comes to that. And that's from that place that I'm coming from, and that's that from that place that I'm speaking. That even, you know, with my current health issues, waking up in the morning is a problem. It is. It's difficult waking up and thinking, okay, I need to tackle this day when I've got X, Y, and Z going on, and it is not. It's a problem. But it all begins the moment I wake up. If I don't get that thing there, the day is done. It's done with. You know, so because I have a desire, I have that desire to be the best that I can be. I have the desire to be positive. And I guess, you know, I've trained myself to become that. And I'm aware that it's not the same for everybody. But it's about the conditioning, you know, it's about how we condition ourselves to understand. You know, the things that we expose ourselves to also are very, very important, like you mentioned. You know, from the moment you wake up, whatever the first thing is going to happen is going to set your day. So try as much as possible to surround yourself with positive people, positive energy, positive things. You know, there's a lot of different things that we can do. And I find that nature is a beautiful, beautiful way. I walk to work, you know, I make the decision to.
You told me that. How many miles do you walk?
I walk an hour to work each way in the morning. Yes, you know, and not being well and things like that. But it's an engagement that I made, you know, yes, for fitness, but also so that I can exhale, so that I can connect with, because I live in the country. So it's so beautiful. You know, you connect with nature, you connect with people, even if it's just the gaze of just seeing somebody just smiling and saying hi. You know, all these little things have such an impact. And that sets me up for the day. Music, I love music. I love my music. I've always, you know, everybody that knows me says this. You know, anytime they see me and talk to me and I'm not reacting, I've got my headphones in. I'm listening to a good tune. You know, very, very good. Identify the things that make you feel good, that make you feel positive, so that, you know, you can feed your thoughts. Because, you know, we're talking about power of thoughts. We also need to talk about feeding those thoughts, because, you know, like anything, anything on this earth needs feeding, needs nurturing in order for it to grow, you know, and that's it. To get powerful thoughts, you need to feed them with the different things that you identify, not anybody else. And I don't believe that anybody can necessarily tell you what you need in order to be positive or to have positive or powerful thoughts. It's a journey and a walk that you need to make. You know, like you said before, you know, write these things down, identify the things. That's so crucial, because what works for me is not going to work for you. Absolutely not. You know, we may have commonalities, but, you know, it's just something
we're
that
all
we have
individual.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, just looking at what we said we're going to talk about. So we've talked about how do our thoughts influence our actions. And, you know, we've talked a lot around how can we make positive thinking a way of life. Like you've already alluded to the fact that, you know, nature and positive thinking. I mean, we're not psychotherapists, we're not counselors, we're just sort of sharing our experiences, to encourage people and trying to help people. So for anyone who is probably in a really dark place right now that cannot really see, you know, any sort of positive thing in their life, then that means that they need some sort of help. So my first piece of advice would be to seek some sort of medical or, you know, proper advice on, you know, what is the reason that they're feeling so negative that they can't see the light of day, for example. So for anyone who's really, really down and in a dark place, my suggestion is definitely, my advice is to seek professional help. There's a lot of help online, the mental health website. Some employers have, you know, what they call a staff wellbeing service or an employee assistance provider that provides free, confidential, you know, counseling advice. Some of them offer up to 6 sessions. So seek that help. But I mean, obviously, if it's a case of you're not in that sort of dark place, you just struggle from day to day, then we hope that, you know, what we've talked about can help. Things like, you know, the positive thinking, feed yourself with motivational thoughts. There's a lot online, you know, motivational quotes that you could even subscribe to, stuff that you can receive by email or on your phone. You know, engage with things that are going to, you know, add value to your life. Don't go on Facebook or social media and just constantly scroll, scroll and look at other people's lives and feel that, oh gosh, everyone else is living their best life, and my life is shit, my life is rubbish. No. Try and feed yourself with things that are going to empower you, things that are going to add value to your life. I talk a lot about lifelong learning in the No Drama Lounge. So again, there's lots of free online courses, lots of, I always I tell people there's no excuse these days. We have access to a plethora of resources, whether online, on your phone, everything, the apps. I've taken to listening to podcasts now. I've downloaded I subscribe to all these podcast channels that I listen to on the train. So yeah, that is my piece of advice. So if it's a real struggle, seek medical help, seek some help. It's just, day to day, just, what Yann has talked about nature and everything else. So yeah, Yann.
And, just to close, I think, my one thing would be find what is right for you. Okay. Yeah. Be self-aware and find what is right for you. Yeah. Very important.
Very important. We're all different, and it is normal, we're talking about positive thinking, but like we talked about earlier, we're human and everyone has their up days and down days, but you try and make sure you have more up days than down days. So, is there anything else you'd like to add, Yann?
No, I think we've covered as much as we can during the session. So like I said again, find what is right for you.
Oh, well done. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube or any of our social media channels, and feel free to reach out to us, on our various connection channels. So on social media, Facebook, Instagram, the No Drama Lounge. Yann, what's your handle?
I'm on Instagram at the moment, so you can the DM Yann W Tanoé at Yann W Tanoé.e.r.
Okay.
And just on YouTube,
Yann fancy.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you, Yann. Speak soon. Have a good rest of the day, evening, whatever you're doing. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.